Yesterday I had one of the most craziest Randori sessions in a while. Everything just clicked. It was crazy. Like I haven't been to the dojo in like a month, and I did feel like my cardio was down, but I was training at home. I was doing the same training that I always show you guys here on this YouTube channel and that I give my clients on my program. I didn't slack with that. So honestly, my technique felt pretty good, and it was just crazy. Just not even showing up to the dojo for a month, but keeping up with my solo training for the most part. I showed up to the dojo, and I kid you not, I threw like 20, 25 minutes of Randori, a couple of rounds, and I threw like 10 to 15 times. It was crazy. And I feel like my throwing success rate is increased due to this one exercise that is really, really simple, but super effective if you can master it and convert it to your second nature part of your muscle memory. And the crazy part is, I feel like I got this down in like a week. Just this one little tweak with this exercise. So let's dive into it. So the exercise itself, well, before this, I was kind of stuck in intermediate level hell, like green belt level. I was doing judo for like up to 5 years, and it wasn't until last year until I really got consistent with all my training. I started showing up to the dojo more and doing Randori, which is the most important part of the dojo in my opinion, and being consistent with my grappling dummy training, my solo training, uchikomis, everything at home, right, that I always preach about. But before then, my throws were like okay, like I had pretty good form. But the problem was I couldn't really land them as well in Randori when it really counts in fighting scenarios, because that's the whole point of judo. There's no point in just throwing a grappling dummy all day but not knowing how to throw a real person. Like imagine you were perfect at throwing a grappling dummy, but in person you couldn't. That's pretty rare. Honestly, if you can throw a grappling dummy well, you could throw a person well, you know, assuming that he's static and he's not moving. But if he's actually resisting and you're fighting him, it's going to be a lot harder. That was my struggle. That was what I really wanted to master. I really wanted to spar with somebody who's resisting, not making it easy for me, and be able to enter for a clean Uchimata, a clean Osoto, a clean Kataguruma, like my three main throws, right? And I was just so frustrated because I'd go home after every practice, so disappointed. Like, what? I've been training for so long. I'm literally a green belt. I can't land a throw against somebody who's my weight. Barely against people who were like lighter than me, and I don't know, man, it just was really discouraging, and it made me feel like quitting almost. Like, what's the freaking point of doing this sport? But I'm not even gonna lie with you, I was a natural at judo. Like I was good, I could land throws, but it's just like I just compare myself to a lot of people and I set super high expectations for myself. I'm like, bro, like, I've been doing judo for 3 years, I should be like freaking elite level at this point. I don't even care what color my belt is. But what I was lacking was consistency in my whole training system. So last year I made the commitment to train more consistently than I ever have in my life. And boy did I improve. And this year I really dissected and like broke down and got even more consistent with my solo training, which added fuel to the flame. And in about a week, I did this one exercise, and this is an exercise that I now share in depth and intimately with my clients on my Judoka Ascension program. And it really helped me land more uchimatas, just getting used to this certain movement that I'm about to share. It's really mind-changing, and I feel like a lot of coaches don't even share this drill. It's really crucial. Okay, so what's the drill? I'm about to drop some free sauce on you guys. Keep in mind, this is one of the drills that clients actually pay me for, so I'm giving you guys free sauce. Now, the only difference between you guys and my clients who pay me is that they are paying for my time and they're paying for the implementation. So I give them personal training, literally, according to their specific judo needs. You guys, I'm giving you guys all the value that I show in my program, but it's up to you to figure it out on your own. So, I mean, if you want to save yourself the time and headache of figuring out your training and your techniques and stuff that's actually going to work for you on the mat, then consider hiring me. Shameless plug. Okay, so this is the drill. I call it the deep step drill. basically with a grappling dummy, or if you don't have a grappling dummy, just put 2 points, like with 2 shoes or with like 2 rocks or 2 cones, whatever. But you're going to stick your first leg, in this case your right leg if you're a righty, or left if you're a lefty, stick your right leg super deep. I would say a foot past their legs, and almost like you're doing a lunge step. You ever do like lunge squats? So do a lunge step in there and turn your head, like twist like crazy once your leg gets in between the legs of your opponent. You want to corkscrew it. I call it like the corkscrew, where like you're literally twisting your leg as you enter, but you're twisting your leg as you come in, and you're lunge stepping. And by default, you're lowering yourself, you're lowering your center of gravity, and you're creating massive kazushi with the twist. And all you need to do is just simply pop up. Now this is like a main entry for a hip throw. Koshiguruma, Ogoshi, whatever. However, in my experience through trialing and erroring this drill, it really helped my Uchimata. Because the further in your leg gets in for Uchimata, especially when you're fighting people and they're really stiff arming you and not letting you in for a throw, this drill trains you to go above and beyond in terms of getting your hips in close, because you're literally stepping all the way into their personal space. And if you want to go a step ahead, make this move on steroids, fight for a Georgian grip. Grab their collar, or grab like deep up in here, and that's just going to allow you to get your hips in a lot more effortlessly. So I did that. So the drill I organize for my clients is I tell them to do the deep step Koshiguruma for 25 throws as a warm-up, and then after that, do 25 Uchimatas, or 25 Seonage. This works for Seonage too, and Ogoshi. Do this 25 after, and you're gonna feel how much deeper and effortless these throws are, the last 25 reps. And now when I fight in Randori, this is the result. Now when I fight in Randori, or even when I'm like doing nagekomes and drilling throws in person, it comes naturally, because I've just been repping it and repping it and repping it and like shoving it down my muscle's throat to the point where I have like that muscle memory already in my feet and my body, that it just comes naturally. I step in super deep, the throws are effortless, center of gravity's there, massive kazushi's there, and my Uchimatas, if I'm fighting like a white belt, it's instant, like it's so effortless. But even when I'm fighting a black belt, my success rate with Uchimata is a lot higher. And bro, like you can throw 15 times too if you do this and you master it. Just 1 week. 1 week. Now here's a caveat. A lot of you guys know I've started with soccer, so a lot of the athleticism that I developed from that translated to judo, and I really believe that did give me a good head start. So I would recommend doing like quick feet drills, because I used to do that a lot. Like, you know what soccer players do with like the ladder, do a lot of like in and outs, diagonal movements, and do that as well. That's going to help you develop quick feet and like become looser and more athletic. Other than that, and then do tons of Randori, at least twice a week, so you're putting into play everything that you're working on at home, and that you never fall behind with in-person skills, and you're not just throwing a grappling dummy all the time, because the goal is to throw a real human being, guys. Don't ever forget that. And you're going to get stronger, you're going to learn from your mistakes, you're going to develop more kumikata skills, more fighting style, mental toughness, pride, confidence. So go to the dojo as much as you can, guys. I highly recommend that. Just do this drill for like 2 to 3 times a week, and then go to the dojo 2 times a week, and you're training like 5 times a week. You don't have to be a full-time athlete. It doesn't matter if you're 50 or 60 years old. Adjust the intensity according to your age and what you can handle. Don't do like, just if you're old and you're doing Randori, just tell your partner, let's go easy, let's not kill ourselves. Anybody, any age can do this. Doesn't matter if you're busy, you can make the time at least 20 minutes a day, or every other day if you're extremely busy. Just go hard for at least 3 months. Just make this a side project for yourself that you want to enhance your judo. Why wouldn't you? Remember why you started judo. Remember why you started. And think, why have you deviated from that beginning goal when you started? Like, what changed? Maybe you have a family, business, job. It doesn't matter. Just remember, if you genuinely remember how you felt the emotion behind why you started, that's gonna give you remembrance of your purpose with judo. And I promise you, that's gonna motivate you to want to start over again. Not start over, but like continue your training. Don't let that go. Like, you're a warrior, you're a judoka. That's something I was thinking about on my way to the dojo yesterday. Like, the reason I started was because I just love feeling like Bruce Lee, you know? Everybody has like a weird reason to start, right? But that was my reason. I wanted to be like a version of Bruce Lee. I wanted to be like Batman in the shadows who would train. Like, you never would expect this like unsuspected pedestrian walking with like a suit, which was me, and like backpack, going to work on my business at a coffee shop. But lo and behold, this guy's a freaking judo badass. You never would know that. And prepared for any situation. If somebody wants to start something, I'm ready. I can fight. That's what I want. That's my why. And if I'm not constantly training my self-defense muscles, I don't feel like I'm being myself. It's part of my identity now. I'm a judoka. You need to have something similar, a similar why. If your why doesn't make you cry, it's not strong enough. Your goal isn't strong enough. So I'd recommend reevaluating that. Guys, if you want one-on-one help, if you want customized, personalized judo training, like I'm giving my clients, if this drill worked for you, try it out first. Try out all my training before you consult with me about one-on-one coaching, because it might turn out that you don't need one-on-one help. But if you want to save yourself years of trial and error and shorten the learning curve, and you want someone to keep you accountable, you want a community of like-minded judo athletes, and you want personal training for judo according to your main throws, then there's two ways to get a hold of me. Links in our description. You can message me on Instagram, or you could straight up book a call if you feel ready. And we'll get on a quick free call and see if you're a good fit for my Judoka Ascension program. That's all I got for you guys. Take care. Hopefully you try this training method.